Hey everyone, welcome to the Final Cut. So glad you could join us today as we take a look at a interesting film from Gator Blade, so you know what you're in for. Yes, Sean Donahue, who directed and co-wrote this film with Christopher Leto, called Zed's Dead. Yes, if you're familiar with the phrase, then you're familiar with the movie that it's from and the characters that phrase is referring to. And yes, we get a backstory of Z and M from that Quentin Tarantino film from the early 90s, where we watch their very peculiar sexual homicidal tendencies and their plans, and basically kind of get a bit of a backstory of these two characters, of what they were up to before Butch and Marcellus ended up falling and fighting into their store. And so we see all of their sleazy and grotesque exploits up until that point. Sean Donahue really, I thought, did a good job in this film setting it up so it felt like it took place within that world of the Tarantino film Pulp Fiction. I think he did his best, especially with the budget he's given. Now, you know the director and you know the studio, then you know you've got a very fair amount of sleazy action going on. But I will say, for for the makers of this film, it is toned down a bit from, say, the Death Escort series or the Santa Claus film. So it is actually toned down just a little bit, maybe, but it is still very graphic and very extreme as far as those exploitation elements of both gore and especially nudity. So if those elements bother you, you really aren't going to want to pick this up, because it's definitely still got a lot of those elements. Now, what I did enjoy is the way they wrote Z and M. These two characters really felt just like the characters pulled from the Pulp Fiction film. Z is played by Jason Henney, and I thought he did well in this role. He feels like our creepy security guard with the big motorcycle. And M, played by Patrick Duncan Weston, he really nails this character quite a bit. It was kind of creepy in a way. And his look as well. He really felt like he was that character. And so props to both those performers for it really conveying that they are those same guys from the bigger budgeted film. Now, as far as those who show up in their shop, well, those unfortunate souls range from a wide variety of different actresses and actors, including Kate Phoenix, who shows up in here. It was great to see her. And Sushi Holder shows up as Kiko, familiar faces within the Gator Blade films. And Detective Robert Pine is played by Joe Makowski, and I really liked his character quite a bit. I actually wanted to spend more time with this character. I thought he was an interesting individual that could have had a little bit more depth to him. There was some in there, quite a bit actually, surprisingly, but even more. I really wanted to see him in the film a bit more than what we got. But of course, again, it's more about Z and M's exploits, but really enjoyed that character and his performance. Again, if you're familiar with this studio at all, you know what you're getting yourself into. Fans of Pulp Fiction, while Quentin Tarantino does have those exploitation elements in here, this definitely dives more into the dark sexuality and homicidal tendencies of Z and M, things that were not explored but briefly shown in Pulp Fiction. It doesn't make you endear yourself to these characters, which you're not supposed to, but it does make you feel even more sleazy just watching and witnessing what these two characters do, which just makes it more gratifying to think on how Marcellus Wallace would go medieval on their asses later on. So Zed's Dead it actually has a decent amount of story to it, though some things get repetitious in here. If you're a fan of this director and of the studio, you'll definitely want to pick it up. Again, fair warning for those who are fans of Pulp Fiction, This may be a little bit more extreme than you're used to, so you may want to go into it very cautiously. And that'll about do it for us here on The Final Cut. Please check out our Patreon if you haven't already. Tell your friends and have your friends tell their friends. We are that close to 2,000 subscribers, and I would love to hit 2,000 subscribers by July 9th, our 15th anniversary, where I will be doing an AMA. Time to be determined yet, but we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff up until then. So please subscribe to our channel here, thumbs up, bells, and all that. I thank you for your support, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.